Hey, I'm Siobhan, and I love talking about all the things related to freedom and personal growth. And I'm on a journey to redefine freedom on my own terms as I become the woman I desire to be. Each week, I'll share in real time what I'm learning as I do my inner work while creating a safe space for my listeners to feel seen. If you desire to be free and live a life that feels good to you, then you're in the right place for beautiful conversations that's going to support you on your journey to freedom. Welcome to the Siobhan J. Middleton podcast. Now let's start the show. Hey y'all, so this is going to be a quick episode that I want to talk about something that it makes me emotional. My great friend came over last night and we had a girls' night, and it was just like so much fun for her to visit me for the first time in my apartment. And we're just kikiing and talking and laughing and all of the things. And we just had such a really, really good time together. And so I was just kind of expressing to her a lot of the things that had been I've been processing and working through. And so this morning I had sent her a couple of voice notes, like thanking her for coming over and just sharing space with me. And it was just such good energy and such a good time. And she sent me a voice note back, and she brought up 3 different experiences that I've had to remind me that I am seen and protected and covered. And so I believe I talked about one of these experiences on another episode, but I want to talk about all 3 now. But before I share these different experiences that I've had over the last several months, one of my core beliefs is that I'm not visible. And because of the relationship with my mother and the relationship with my father, or the lack thereof, I grew up feeling like I wasn't good enough. I grew up feeling like not seen. And so as I've been working through this in therapy, one of the beliefs that I realized that I had is that I'm not visible, and almost like thinking I'm invisible, like people don't see me. And not in a literal way, I guess, but like maybe that I'm not as visible as I think that I am. And I've had many conversations with friends about this. And as I've been working through it in therapy, like unlearning that, no, Siobhan, you are visible. People do see you. You have consciously chosen amazing people to be in your life that see you, that hear you, that understand you. And so I'm doing the work around that. So as I've been doing the work, Spirit has been showing me how visible I am. And I'm going to give you 3 of these experiences that my friend reminded me of. So one day I was in Trader Joe's, and it was right before I was moving into my apartment, and I was just buying all the essential staple things, and I was buying all of my spices. And the guy that was checking me out, the cashier, he was like, "Yeah, I see you're buying all these spices." I said, "Yeah, I'm getting my own apartment." And I said, "Yeah, I'm getting a divorce." And so he was like, "You look so much happier now." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Well, I've seen you in the store." And he was like, "And I'm an empath and I can pick up on energy." And he was like, "But you seem so much happier now, like you're glowing." And I'm like, "Really?" And so then he stops ringing up my stuff and he goes and gets me a bouquet of flowers. And I'm like, "Thank you so much." And so you never know who's paying attention, who sees you. You just never know, right? And that really warmed my heart, because y'all know I love, love, love Trader Joe's. I have been going to Trader Joe's, this particular one, since my kids were small. And he's been working there for a very long time. And so he hadn't been at the store in a while. And so he was back, and he had told me he had been out for a couple of months. But just saying that, seeing me now versus how he's seen me in the past, like, you're so much happier. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even know how I was projecting, right? Fast forward to about a month, I believe ago, maybe a month and a half, I'm going to get my eyebrows threaded, and I go to the same girl all the time. And I had told her I was getting a divorce. And so she had been out for the month of August traveling So, okay, so this was in September, yeah, last month. And so she was like, how are you? How's everything? I said, oh, I'm all settled into my apartment. Everything is going good. And she said, yeah. She said, you look happy now. I think that's what she said. She said, you look so much happier now. And then the lady to the right of her chair was like, yeah, it's something about you. I don't know if it's the dress or what, but like there's something about you, like you're glowing. And I said, well, and so I asked my girl who was doing my eyebrows, I said, how did I look before? And so she takes her arms and she pulls them close to her. She was like, you were so tight. Like she balls up her fist. Like there was always like, it was something on your mind and like you had somewhere to go, you had somewhere to be. And I started crying because I didn't know that that's the way that I looked. Right. And granted, you go get your eyebrows done, you're in there all of a few minutes. It's not like I'm there kikiing and talking. It's like, no, but she picked up on that energy, right? She picked up on that energy from me and was like, you look so much happier now. And then to express like how I looked before. And I'm like, it just really shook me. And I had talked about this on my IG stories. Like, I didn't know that that's the way that I looked, right? I didn't know that that's the energy that I was projecting. And then lastly, about 2 weeks ago, I Instacart, and this is a story I shared a little bit ago. And so I was in the store and, me and a lady was talking. We see each other all the time, but we only say hi. But this particular time we started talking and she realized she hadn't seen me in a while. And I told her, I moved and I'm, going through a divorce. And so she expressed how she too had been married and like she has PTSD. And she told me how she realized it. And so, yeah, I said, I have it as well. And, I told her about being on edge and hyper vigilant. And she said, I know. And she said, I've seen you. And there was one day you were in the store. And she said, because I have it, I can see it. And she said, I just started praying for you. And as I'm looking at her with tears in my eyes, I'm like, thank you. And so I'm sharing each one of these experiences because this is a reminder that I am visible, that I am seen, that God sees me, which I say that all the time, and that the decisions and the choices that I've made for myself have been the best decisions. So much so that people that just see me and engage with me for short periods of time can see how I used to be and how I am now. And even when I had caught up with a friend the other day and we were FaceTiming and chit-chatting and she was like, Siobhan, you're glowing. And I'm like, am I? She's like, yeah, you're glowing. And I'm like, wow. And I've been in a dark space for a long time. And I'm coming out of that and I'm rediscovering who I am and like really being comfortable in my own skin. And I'm glad that I'm literally in the process of unlearning this belief that I've had for so long that stems from the wounds of my childhood, that I am visible, that people see me, and that I have consciously chosen amazing friends and people to be in my life that genuinely love and support me. And they are showing up for me in the most beautiful way. And so I'm sharing this to encourage anyone else on this journey that you may feel at times that you are not visible. You may feel like nobody sees you. You may feel like this transition, whatever your life transition that you're going through, is so dark and so heavy. I see you. I'm with you. I get it. And also, there's beauty on the other side. And there's no time frame to this. There's no like, oh, when I get here. No, 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 no. This is a process and it's a journey. And you can't rush yourself out of it because there's something that you need to learn. And all of the messages that I'm getting now from spirit, from universe, the only way that I'm able to get this information now is because I'm in a healthier space and I'm taking care of myself from the inside out. So when people say you look happier now, when people say you're glowing now, it's because I'm tending to and I'm nurturing myself. And I want you to do the same for you. And you have to decide what that looks like. I do not have the game plan for you, if you will, or I can't say, hey, go do all these things. No, we all have different ways that we move through life. And I am finding what works for me and really listening to myself. And as I'm listening to myself, I'm like, oh, this is what you need today, Siobhan. Today you need sunlight or sunshine. Today you need to stay in the bed until 9 a.m. Today you need to drink, this amount of ounces of water, whatever it is. Every day I'm like, okay, Siobhan, what do you need? How do you want to feel? And how do you want to show up in this world? And I'm realizing that, oh, God has put angels around me that are praying for me, that are seeing me, that are taking care of me. I mean, the guy at Trader Joe's gave me a bouquet of flowers to say, I see you. Like these experiences, and there's so many stories that I can share, but these stood out to me because my friend brought them to my attention. It's like, you are visible. So yes, you've been hurt by people in the past, but we see you. God sees you. And so I hope this was encouraging. Again, no matter where you're at on your path on this journey, keep doing your inner work. Keep showing up for yourself. Love on yourself in the deepest way that you can. Turn off the noise and tend to yourself. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I would love to hear from you. Don't forget that you can share this episode with a friend. Share it on IG stories, IG, wherever you're at. Share the episode. Please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and let me know what you thought of the episode. And always, you can feel free to email me and let me know as well. If you want to treat me to a cup of coffee, that option is available. If you're encouraged or inspired by my work in any capacity, the link to do that is in the show notes. And I just thank you so much for allowing me to inspire and encourage you this week. I'm sending you so much love and light. And until next week, have a great one.